It wasn't too long ago. I think it was back in January. I did a Multicade Mondays podcast and I said 2024 was going to be the year of the Multicade. Well, here we are, guys. It is May 13th. And as of today, not a single goddamn Multicade is shipped. That's right. Not a single one has shipped. Everyone is still waiting for their Multicades to come out. And not only that, there's even some new Multicades hitting the market as well. Some interesting stuff. Maybe we'll cover those on some future episodes. I wanted to talk about the main ones that we've been waiting for all year. I mean, so far, the only thing I guess you could say Multicade wise that has reached people's homes would be the AtGames Legends Pinball. But would you kind of call that a multi-pin? I mean, yeah, you can play arcade games on it, using the control panel and stuff. I guess that could make it a multicade, but it's like a multi-pin. It's a virtual pinball machine, but you have the ability to play arcade games on it. So if you want to count that as one, I guess we could do so. But where in the hell are all the multicades, and has the excitement fizzled out? Is it over? Is 2024 not going to be the year of the multicade? We'll talk about that. That's kind of the theme for tonight's show. Want to give you guys some updates and thoughts on the Retro Shooter MX24 light guns. That's right, those new machine guns. I got a very scary update about those light guns earlier today. We're going to talk a bit about the Polycade Sente. Some of you might just use that as your bathroom break during this broadcast. Unico Nova Blast. We'll talk a little bit about Arcade1Up AtGames. Also, the hype builds, the drama unfolds as we approach Friday and we get the big reveal from Glenn and New Wave Toys on what their collaboration project is, and hopefully hear the story behind it. So, man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Michael B. the Game Genie's off tonight, so you guys are stuck with me. Sorry about that. Let's go, guys. Let's do it. It's Multicade Mondays. Oh man, I gotta tell you, if there's one thing I love doing, I love live streaming, man. I love hanging out with all you guys and talking about this stuff, man. We've been doing this for 4 years. I'm one of the home arcade OGs, one of the originals, and man, we're just channel's doing great. We're about to hit 21,000 subscribers already. Big thanks to our Talking Tom video, which went viral this month. YouTube pushed it out like crazy. We've added hundreds and hundreds of subscribers to the channel, all from that Talking Tom video. Good Lord. I can't believe it. Talking Tom, this video is out of control. But hey, man, if it helps the channel growth, I'll take it. It goes to show you that you never know what could be hit or miss. When you're making YouTube, if your channel's doing well, companies reach out to you all the time, right? And since I started doing YouTube, I've had microphone companies, I've had cell phone companies, monitor companies, laptops, console games, Steam games, PC games, VR games. People reach out to you, and then also you get weird and wacky stuff. Like I've had cribs, electric bikes, and I'm not saying I've accepted and reviewed these products, but I'm just saying like you get some off the wall stuff, and sometimes you say yes to it, and it could do well. And then sometimes you say yes to it and it could do very, very poorly. Or like there've been a few products I've covered that like let's see, a couple Nintendo Switch docking stations. I've covered a lot of Nintendo Switch docking stations, but excuse me. A couple of those videos only got like 300 views on them. And why is that? Well, it's because I primarily don't have a Nintendo Switch audience, and the videos just weren't good enough for YouTube to push it out to that Nintendo Switch audience. I guess the videos were pretty poor, pretty poor. So yeah, something you never know what if you say yes to something if it's going to be a hit or a miss. I honestly thought this stupid ass Talking Tom animatronic toy that I reviewed 2 years ago. I honestly thought that this thing would be a video I get maybe 1,000 views on, and that'll be it. And it's the most watched video on my channel. It's so funny. But hey, man, mobile phone content is huge. The mobile phone games. I mean, if you think about it, guys, we cover a very niche stuff like home arcades. Home arcades is a niche of retro gaming. Like if I was an all-in retro gaming channel, let's think of somebody like who's a very successful retro gaming channel who just simply covers retro games. Let's talk Sega Lord X, John Hancock, John Riggs, Mad Little Pixel, right? Like these guys have well over 100,000 subscribers, and why? Their content appeals to the many. It appeals to the many. the people who do YouTube in this space, our content appeals to the few because we're a niche of retro gaming, right? And sometimes we broaden our horizons. We try to cover new things to see what sticks, right? To see what can help channel growth and things like that. So the point I'm trying to make is if I feel like if I had started this channel 4 years ago, covering a broader spectrum of things, based upon how successful we have been, just covering this little niche of retro gaming, guys, this channel would be so much bigger than what it is today. And there are so many other hot topics out there like VR gaming, modern gaming, console gaming. What else? What else? What else? What were we just talking about? Mobile phone gaming, like any of that stuff. Like channel would be huge. Channel would be huge. So if people ever talk smack about your favorite home arcade YouTubers, whether it's myself or somebody else, just I hope you guys realize that we have a very small audience to pull from, and I've been very lucky and blessed to have the audience that I have today. So thank you so much for that, guys. We're going to say hi to who's here in the live chat. We'll also get a couple of hot topics from you guys to start the shows. A lot of the material I have for tonight is quick updates. We should be able to fly through these things, but I definitely want to know what's going on in your guys' universe, what questions and things are on your mind. It's been a very interesting couple of weeks in home arcade. All right, let's talk about it. So we got Carl O is here, Adam Kalb, JT, Bobby1ALU, Jason, MSU Rich, Billy Woods, Hollywood Polo. Hey, Patrick, what platforms are you buying the Pinball FX tables on Thursday? Hot topic. Okay, let's don't let me forget Pinball FX. We'll do that after we do the intros. Jason, every time I step away for a drink, PDubs goes on 5 minutes early. Thanks so much. Quartercade is here. Stock Jock is here. Cyan Spirits, Jim the Pacers fans, JJ, Steve Sale, Jim the JJ again. Richie Caves Retrocade. It's a brand new YouTube channel that's launching later this month. But what is that channel all about? You guys are going to have to keep your eyes on Richie Caves Retrocade. I have a good feeling about that channel. Calvin Wong, Galga Guy 88, E Leo, Biggie Fry, Stock Jock, Cammy's here all the way from south of New Zealand. So cool to see. I honestly forgot Cammy where it was. I'm having a brain fart. JT's here. Papa Brad is saying hello. Joe Huzowski is here as well. MSU Rich, Carl O, Mitchie B, Jolly Green. All the moderators are flying the wrenches in the live chat. Good stuff. Good stuff. Can I ask you guys a question? When I live stream and you do these podcast shows, do I have the ability to capture your attention and keep you guys awake? Do you guys pay attention? Are you guys able to hang on and watch a good chunk of the stream before you get sick of me? Let me know in the live chat, guys. Do me a favor. Do me a favor, guys. Let me know. How long do you guys watch for? Tell me in the live chat. Usually I live stream. I try to keep my live streams to 1 hour and 18 minutes. Anything longer than that, and I literally start to have a mental stroke. How long do you guys think you can hang on for during these live streams? Do you guys hang on for the whole show? Do you guys usually check in for 20 minutes, check out? What do you guys think? Let me know. Does PDubs bore you? Does PDubs have a horrible voice? Let me know in the live chat. Let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Jeffrey watches the whole show. Grayson says a little bit of Coke helps. Quartercade's my tuner. JT Brunick, he tunes out right after the call-outs. Cyan Spirit says, my voice is both soothing yet invigorating. That's right. I do have that sweet baritone voice. Cheers to Brooklyn Menace in the live chat as well. Rafcon is here. He watches the entire time. Rafcon, do me a favor. Next time you see Kaneda, you tell him that P-Dubs Arcade Loft says he's a walking popcorn fart. And if he's got a problem with it, I'll stomp on him. The whole show until Michael B comes on. Yeah, that's what I go live before Michael B. The whole effing show, the whole show. 4 hours is a sweet number. So typically when you do a podcast show, what I've noticed is our average watch times keep getting better and better. Last time I checked, the average watch time of our podcast shows was 36 minutes, which if you think about it, that's pretty huge. That's pretty huge to capture somebody's attention and keep them on you for 36 minutes. We are now up to 44 minutes. That's right. The average viewer who watches Multicade Mondays, especially the last two episodes, averaged 44 minutes of watch time out of shows that went about an hour, hour and a half. That's fantastic, guys. Thanks so much for the support. I guess I don't have an annoying voice, although some people claim I do. But I guess my voice isn't the kind of voice to put the viewers to sleep at night. Make them tune out. And I bet those guys who like to run their mouths about good old PDubs have an average watch time of, about 5 minutes or less. How much you want to bet if we get them to open their YouTube analytics and talk a little shit about PDubs Arcade Loft and his sweet baritone voice? All right, guys. All right, hot topics. So Pinball FX. So full transparency, Pinball FX. Hollywood Polo asked, Zen Studios, big update coming out. They're going to be updating like 35 pinball games. They have issues or just to make them better on their across their whole suite of platforms. Plus, they're releasing a ton of new games: Xena, Knight Rider, Pacific Rim, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What else am I missing? Battlestar Galactica. You know what I mean? Like, they got a ton of shit coming out later on this week. So, full transparency, Polo. Zen Studios did reach out to me and they gave me codes to the games. So, the games that are Pinball FX, I'll be playing them on Pinball FX. And then, of course, the one game that's on Pinball M, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I played on Pinball M. I do have access to those games today. I haven't had a chance to test them out yet. I'm probably going to test them out a little bit later on tonight after this live stream's over. That way I can start putting some thoughts together. It's a lot of games to cover. Like, these games probably need an individual video per game, but we'll try and do a summary of each game. Cornercade said Zen Studios did not reach out to him. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Start making some video pinball content, and if your content's good, you don't really have to chase after companies. They'll reach out to you, if you're doing good. So, just do the best you can. And what have I always told you, Cornercade? Wait for the invitation versus the expectation. There's too many people out there who expect things. Hey, I started a YouTube channel. I got 30 subscribers. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Wait for the invitation versus having the expectation. You got to put in the work, baby. You got to roll up the sleeves. You got to get grinding. Let's see here. What else we got going on, guys? Zen Studios called me. They said their bank was scam likely. I don't know what that means, James. They said their bank name. I don't know what you're talking about, James. Zen Studios will only reach out to you via email. They will not call you. Paul Mindeman, who made the greatest chart I've ever seen, and it was on the Arcade1Up Reddit. Paul, you know which one I'm talking about. Can you do me a favor, Paul? Can you send that to me on Facebook Messenger, and I will pull that up and show everyone your chart live on this show. I thought this chart was hilarious. It's good. It's good, but we'll talk about something Arcade1Up related that he put in the Reddit. All right. Who else is here, guys? Man, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to go probably a little bit longer than normal tonight, especially because we don't have to rush for any of our friends, even though technically we don't need to rush for our friends, but we do because we're friends. You don't get calls from Scam Likely? Oh, yeah, I get calls from Scam Likely. I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I thought you were talking about Zen Studios. Jim the Pacers fan, did you enjoy having guests on your show? I enjoy having guests from time to time. Like I said with Multicade Mondays, we've done a lot of interviews, and I'm trying to make it more valuable versus just hangouts. So, we've had Buy Stuff on. We had Turner Pinball on. We had Barrels of Fun Pinball on. We had Retro Signs come on. Who else did we have come on this year? I said Buy Stuff, right? Oh, we had Pixelcade. We had Al come on. We had Nix come on from Pixelcade, not the other Nix, the Nix who does the programming, not the iArcadian Nix. There's two Nixes out there in this community. Got to make sure you don't get them mixed up. So yeah, I think that stuff provides great information for the community of gamers out there who watch my channel and maybe some others. So that's what I like to do. That's what we're shooting for this year. You know, do a couple shows just me, then bring in the interviews. We got another pinball company coming on very, very soon. Hopefully, you guys are excited about it as I am, as well as we got two indie game studios who want to come on as well. I'm just trying to figure out when I can fit them in. So we'll try and get you guys some fun content. All right. Any other hot topics in the live chat before we dive into the main events, or not really the main event? We'll start talking about some pretty cool show topics. Again, I got some sad news about the retro shooter MX-24. I'm actually a little bit worried about this thing. So we'll find out what's going on. Oh, the guy who made the Tyson Punch Out game? Yeah, that was last year, Kelvin. That was Retro Vanilla Beast. Yeah, we're doing I'm just talking this year. Like this year for Multicade Mondays, I'm trying to get like more of these companies and special people to come on that will give you guys good value for your time. Cornercade says hot topic. He's got a $450 Best Buy gift card. He owns every arcade besides the Casino Cade. What should he get? Go buy something nice for your wife and kids. Go get them the big wheel. Go get them go get them the electric car. Go get them, get them the little Nintendo game, or go give them the DVD that they're really looking for. Cornercade, you have gotten enough stuff for yourself. Go get something nice for the wife and kids. Wasn't it just Mother's Day? Should have given that gift card to Mrs. Cornercade. That's what you should have done, buddy. Go get the kids something nice. Go get them an Xbox. There you go. Go buy the kids an Xbox. There you go. Rotary phones. All right, here we go. Hollywood Polo, what's your excitement for new Zakari table coming out later this year? So this is very interesting. So if you guys notice, since Magic Pixel really started working close with AtGames, they really slowed down. I mean, they slowed down big time when it came to updates to their existing platform on consoles and PC, including releases of deluxe games. Like PC, I think has the most version of deluxe games, and then like At Games has the second most version of deluxe games. But it just seems like At Games was dominating their time. I mean, Magic Pixel, I don't think has a huge studio team, guys. I really don't think they're as big as like Zen Studios, and even Zen Studios had to trim down some people with the recent layoffs. But they've been working hours upon hours with that games the last couple of years. And did you guys notice they stopped releasing stuff on console and PC? They were supposed to redo pretty much all their games, their solid state games, and turn them into deluxe versions. So yeah, I'm excited to hear that they're going to put out a couple more deluxes, hopefully by the end of the year. So that'll be good for them. Now the question though is, will they have 9,000 flippers and 5,000 ramps on them? Probably, but it's good to see them say, "Hey, we got to do, we got to get." I'm sure they make a lot of money releasing games on Switch and PC and Steam and Xbox and PlayStation, because the Zakaria platforms on all those, they make money off those. And if they're not releasing stuff, they're not continuously making revenue. So, I mean, unless At Games is paying them a fortune, they really need to get back to doing that as well. So hopefully it'll be something cool. You know what I mean? Some of the deluxe games I like, but not all of them. Not all of them, because it's just too many flippers, too many ramps, too many floors upon floors. It's just too much. There you go. Scotty B, we'll talk about this when we get to At Games, so we'll talk about that as well. Don't let me forget. Okay, enough hot topics. Let us talk about the MX-24. How many of you guys out there pre-order? Do you guys want the chat on or off? Do me a favor. If you want the chat off the screen, give me a 0. If you want the chat on, give me a 1. Throw it in the live chat right now. Fastest fingers wins. Speak now or forever hold your peace. So the Retro Shooter MX-24, this is a pretty cool looking submachine gun. It's a light gun that's coming out on the market. Off. I'm seeing I have 4 for on. I got 2 for off. I got 5 for off. No, 4 for on, 3 for off. Zen Studios with big gameplay on the new tables tomorrow. I hope so. I hope so. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, guys, I'm seeing more zeros. Let's get the chat off screen. You guys know I've never been a big fan of having that chat on the screen. So it just takes up too much real estate. And if you want to watch the chat, you could participate and watch the chat on whatever device that you're watching the live stream on. So we're going to go there. All right. MX24, this is our first topic. I'm personally very excited about this because I think this is a pretty cost effective light gun. I have the retro shooter guns, and in my opinion, the retro shooter guns ain't bad, especially if you hook them up to a PC. Now, the console itself, it's a Pandora's box, right? It's got 100 games, and a good amount of them run really, really well, and you'll have a good experience. Some of the games, like House of the Dead and other games they have on there run pretty bad, sound pretty bad, have audio issues or graphical issues, etc. But that doesn't mean you can't take their light guns and have a good time on the PC and things like that, right? So I pre-ordered this thing. I pre-ordered day one. How many of you guys pre-ordered this thing? Let me know in the live chat if you guys pre-ordered the Retro Shooter MX24. I think this looks pretty cool and a fun light gun to have. Well, I got some bad news, guys. They announced, well, they didn't announce, they sent notification out that the people who sorry, let me start over. I got a shipping notification a couple of days ago. It said that my light guns had shipped. And I was like, cool, they're on their way and they're coming DHL from China. So usually it's not going to take super long to get them, especially because it's kind of like a next day air or 3-day air kind of thing. Well, anyway, check this out, guys. I got notification today. Returned to shipper. That's right. Might be hard for you guys to see this. That's probably as big as I can make it. Return to shipper. That's right. Oh, you know what? We can go this way. Return to shipper. So here's what's funny is it's in Hong Kong and it made its way. I couldn't open all the tracking details. I didn't want you guys to see my tracking number and all that. Made it so right here, it made it to the airport at Hong Kong, and it never made it to the US. In fact, it never even left Hong Kong. Further details say the shipment has been returned to the shipper as instructed or according to our standard procedure. So there's a couple issues here. Number one is Retro Shooter was smart enough to know that when it came to the handguns, to ship them in separate pieces. You guys remember they came in separate pieces and you had to assemble them. And the reason why is so it doesn't look like a real gun and it'll get through customs. Now, hopefully, these machine guns came out in separate pieces as well. Now, if they tried shipping it like this, I'm pretty sure Chinese customs would have been like, holy cow, this is a crate full of guns. What is this mess? You know what I mean? What is somebody an arms dealer? So hopefully this thing disassembles in pieces. I see a lot of screws here, but they never mentioned how this thing disassembled for shipping that I can remember off the top of my head. But either way, package has been returned to sender. So yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I put a comment on their Facebook group. They have a retro shooter Facebook group. I put a comment on that actually right before I went live saying, hey, did the entire shipment get returned? Is there something going on you want to let your fans and community know? And hopefully we'll get an answer. Hopefully we'll get an answer as to the status of those guns. But as of right now, I gave them money and my guns are still in Hong Kong. And it stinks, man, because I was really hoping to get mine ASAP. I was super excited about it. Pre-ordered right away, no shipping notifications. But your flamethrower made it, PDubs. Well, the kids love it, Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Scotty James says happens to Australia all the time. That stinks, man. FBI is going to come knocking on my door. I hope not. So who knows why they were returned? We don't know yet. So hopefully, I don't know if it's a one-off on me. I'm seeing a lot of people saying they didn't get shipping info. I got my shipping info 2 days ago. I went and checked the tracking to see if it had landed in Arizona via airplane, and it said it never even left China. So who knows? Who knows what the status is there, guys? Who knows? Oh man, damn. Oh, I feel like I got. Oh, I got my Batman shirt on right here, guys. I love my Batman shirt. All right, let's continue on. So that's what's going on there with the MX-24. Guys, do me a favor, keep an eye on your tracking. Keep an eye on their Facebook groups. If I hear anything, I'll do a quick community post on my channel saying, "Hey, yeah, a whole container got returned." Or maybe it's just my package that got returned. I don't know, it's really weird. I've never had this problem before, but then again, they are shipping me something that looks like a submachine gun. Too funny. Feds are gonna raid me live. Now, don't joke about that, man, because there are people who they go around and it's called swatting. Have you ever heard of this? Swatting, like swatting a fly. But what they do is they literally call SWAT on people who are live streaming, giving them like, usually they've doxed them in some way. They got their personal address and they usually like from some anonymous number report them. And have you guys seen that where like YouTubers or Twitch streamers are live and all of a sudden the police kick down the damn door? It's called swatting. That's very scary. Please don't do that to anybody, guys. I know this community doesn't have to deal with that. It's mostly that 20-year-old internet community that does that bullshit. But we're all too grown for that. $2 from Twisted Gaming TV says, "This guy again? PDubs, here's your taxi fee." Thanks so much, Twisted Chris. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you're doing well. Thumper Squid says, "PDubs is the best." Hit the thumbs up now. Thanks so much, man. Greatly appreciate the support. Yeah, and those people should be charged with attempted murder. They got a guy killed here in Kansas. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, if all of a sudden somebody came in your house and if you're caught up in the moment and that you start swinging at them and they start swinging at you, bullets could fly. Who knows, right? Like, before you even realize who's in your home, yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, don't do any of that, guys. Let's change the topic before somebody gets some hot idea about that. Thanks so much, Brooklyn Menace. Yeah, it's disgusting behavior. Don't do it. Let the 20-year-olds do it. We're all 40 to 65 years old. We don't need to be doing it. All right, guys, I want to give you guys an update on the Polycade Sente. So for some of you guys who are not interested in the Polycade Sente, now is a good time to refresh your beverage or go take a quick piss. But it's only going to last about 5 minutes, so I greatly appreciate your patience. Yeah, I can't wait to play with those guns either. Cogs are us. Cogs are us! Ladies and gentlemen, how about a shout out in the live chat for B Kong Kongs are us. He has successfully transitioned from being the bad boy of home arcade to the bad boy of real pinball. And you guys are too nice to those pinball content creators. I'm a bit of a dick. So, B, you have my permission to tell Kaneda I think he's a walking unicorn fart. And if he's got something to say, I'll finish the sentence for him. What a fucking turd that guy is. All right, let's continue on. We're going to talk about the Polycade. So Polycade Sente, a lot of people went ahead and they got their final payment emails, which is interesting. They wanted to collect the final payment for your Polycade Sentes. They're going to be shipping to customers starting late June, early July. Again, this was supposed to be the year of the Multicade, if you guys remember. And what has happened, my dudes? Not a single damn Multicade has shipped. Well, at least none of the ones that we've been expecting, right? None of the one. Well, sorry, none of the ones that we've been expecting, and it just feels disappointing. But we're going to get a slew of these arcade machines coming up here. Excuse me, during the end of the year, so it should be fun. So Polycade Sente. So again, if you're not familiar with it, so this is a very expensive Multicade, mounts to the wall or goes on a stand. You could pre-order it. Comes with a gaming PC. That's the one that I ordered. So I already have a PC in there, which is great when it arrives. And it runs the Polycade AGS software, which I've shown on other streams. What's nice about that is, as you can kind of see on this screenshot right here, they have their own user interface with their AGS software. And with that user interface, you're able to access their online store to purchase and download games and play them right on your machine, similar to what you thought the iArcade was supposed to be. But usually, some of the similar games like Donut Dodo and stuff is on here. Cuphead. Take a look at some of these games that are on here. So whatchamacallit, and but also it has the ability, which I really, really like, for those of us who like to be a little bit, what's the word? Naughty. With their Polycade AGS software, you literally can upload Atari ROMs, NES ROMs, MAME, arcade ROMs, Sega ROMs, Super Nintendo ROMs. They have a bunch of the emulators in there for a lot of the core retro gaming systems, especially MAME. And you literally drag and drop or upload your ROMs into it, and boom, your ROM is now part of your AGS software, and it'll run and play those games on the system. That's what I like about it, right? Like, as I'm going to load this thing up with retro games, but also because it's coming with a gaming PC that's pretty decent, in my opinion. I'll obviously on that gaming PC, I will log into my Steam account and I'll be able to play a whole bunch of my Steam games and have an arcade experience without having to plug in more devices or things like that. Because the good news there, guys, is whatchamacallit, we already it comes with that PC, right? It comes with that PC. So I'm interested in it. There's pros to it. It's expensive. What is nice is they let people know that, hey man, we got as part of your purchase, you're getting 24 games for free from their store. So let's kind of take a peek here and see. They announced what the games were going to be. Now I'm going to have to zoom in here and I'm going to need your guys some help here. All right. I honestly need your guys' help because I can't remember. I don't know all these games off the top of my head. I literally just got this email yesterday saying, hey, here's the 24 games that will be included with your purchase. You can download these games for free. I'm gonna literally have to look these up and like Google each one to see if it's a game I even want to download for free because there's some shovelware in here. So let's take a look here at the games, guys. And guys, you got to let me know if any of these games are worthwhile. Okay, so we got Volgar the Viking. Has anyone played Volgar the Viking? It's got the kind of fantasy title I like. Anna Lynn, I like. I mean, Anna Lynn is a fun little modern day retro game. It's made like an arcade game from back. It's like a Donut Dodo type game, right? But I like it. I've played that on Steam. Bash Sports Online Bowling. Everyone knows I have mixed feelings about that. Bigfoot, Bubble Bobble, Bust a Move, College Slam, Darius Gaiden. Let's see if I can get some feedback. Okay, so it's a platformer game. Volgar the Viking, extremely hard platformer. Volgar is good. Okay, cool. Cool modern retro game with a Viking. Okay, let's see what else Polycade has given us for free. Donut Dodo. And here's what's funny though is these games will be given to you to play within their AGS software, right? So technically, I'll have access to these games like Donut Dodo through their software, as well as if I wanted to just log into my Steam account. I already own Donut Dodo, right? And some of these games, right? We got Donut Dodo, we got Do Re Mi, Downwell, Frank Thomas, Big Hurt Baseball, Game of the Bear. I'll admit when I first saw this, I thought it said Bearsis at first because I was reading too fast, Cyan, so you beat me to it. Lethal League, Log Jammers, NBA Jam Extreme sounds pretty interesting, right? And then NFL Quarterback Club. Let's keep going. Ninja Sky, Roof Rage, Space Gulls, Stripes, Super Bat Puncher, Super Rock Blasters, and Tricky Towers. So there you guys go. Now, I'm not familiar with all these games. I'm going to have to start looking them up to see like what games are they giving me for free. And again, they're, I don't have to I don't have to play these games. Like I'm under zero obligation to play these games. But what's nice is they're going to be free. So as long as they're free, I'll download them. You got to remember, you got to think of it the way you remember iArcade. iArcade had their own user interface where and their own store where you purchase and download games to the machine. That's what this is. Now, if iArcade had opened up their platform to give people the ability to connect to Steam or AntStream, or maybe worked out a deal with Polycade AGS or something, right? Maybe they would have still been around today, or maybe not. I think they were so worried about sacrificing the store because the store was their piece of revenue that if they open the system up, even to people to have to buy games legally, like think about it, if they gave you the ability to do and stream or connect Steam to your arcade machine, you're not really pirating those games. You're legally buying and downloading those games again via the other people, but maybe they would have sold more units because people would have found that interesting. Like, hey, this is an easy way to play my arcade games. But they were so worried about sacrificing the online store and people not using it anymore, they didn't open it up to any other ways to access games. So they kept it to either you play the games on our store or nothing. And now, thanks to the community mods that have come out since iArcade went under, now you have the ability to play the games that you did buy through their store. Plus, now you can connect other devices and play more games and also upload more games, right? So, it is. I guess it's kind of like what it is today. Yep, and it's a decent gaming PC. I don't have the specs right in front of me, but pretty much anything in my Steam library, it'll run on there. And I have some modern games in my Steam library. So yeah. All right, let me find this out. Tricky Towers is a physics-based sort of Tetris game, like your Tetris tower can fall over. Okay, thanks so much. That sounds cool in my opinion. I like Tetris. I would have laughed pretty hard if Mutant Football League would have been on that list. Well, I have Mutant Football League on Steam. I'll play it on the Polycade. Now, what's really cool about the Polycade too is everything is HDMI. I have a PC. I'll be able to capture great footage of playing these games. Like a lot of people with these AtGames Legends Ultimates that they're pointing cameras at their screens because only that version had HDMI. So that version, the original Sam's Club version, is the only one that you could easily capture the screen on, right? Like everyone else who tries to like run the games that are native on the machine and they want to capture footage of it, they have to point a camera at the screen. Well, when it comes to all their native games on the Polycade, I'll be able to easily capture the footage of those games. So those live streams will look pretty good, in my opinion. Plus, it'll be a fun way to check out like new games that come out on Steam very quickly, very easily. So I'm actually interested in it. Now, when is this coming out? So kind of like the retro shooter guns, we've had some delays, and according to them, Polycades. So they are in process of production component sort. Whoop, hold on. I don't know who's trying to call me right now. Sorry. Production component sourcing by the in 10 days the first cabinet will be finished, and by May 30th they'll have 50 of them finished. What's interesting is if you actually join the Polycade Discord, Tyler over there, Tyler Bushnell, the son of the Atari founder who founded and the son of the guy who Noah Bushnell who founded Atari, his son Tyler is the one who founded Polycade. Well, whatchamacallit, he's already been sharing some pictures of what the machines look like, as well as he's been keeping everyone up to date on shipping status and stuff. So if you're like one of the first 50 or so people, they're gonna be shipping out by June, and then all the batches are gonna ship. Keep in mind they had about 1,000 backers. So they have about 1,000 machines to build. And keep in mind, these are metal machines, just like the Unico Nova Blast. These are not plastic. So these are, metal steel arcade machines. They're going to be heavy. And yeah, all the batches are going to be coming over June, July, etc. So we have to wait until June, July, probably mid to late July before these show up in people's homes. So I know I got a Polycade, and I know only a couple of my viewers backed the Polycade Kickstarter. So I know it's not a very, very popular item out there. Guys, I totally understand it. But hey, let me be your crash test dummy. Let me make a bunch of content on it and see if it's something you're interested in for in the future down the road. Because they're going to be this is like the new model they'll continuously sell. It's just the pricing won't be as good as it was during the Kickstarter. Because remember, guys, this is the machine they were charging $2,000 for, and I got it for like what $1,000 because it's like half off during the Kickstarter. So that was pretty good. So yeah. There you go. Hopefully, I think they need to fill their Kickstarters by July. They have 11 batches, and each batch I think has 120 units, is what Tyler said in his Discord just the other day. Um, and so yeah, once they get all the batches fulfilled, then they'll probably anything else coming over will hopefully be for the future. I'm glad you asked that. I am actually going to wall mount mine. I'm going to wall mount mine probably back here because two of these machines are going to be moving. Keep in mind, guys, I'm going to be painting in here and all that. This whole background's going to change. Hopefully, it'll be new, fresh, interesting. You guys have been looking at the same shit, like this Knuckles thing here. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, you know, you guys have been looking at the same stuff for 4 years. I got to change it up for you. And also I want to have it in my office so I can easily connect it for streaming and stuff like that. So, um, I'm going to wall mount it probably there. If I get the AtGames Legends Ultimate 4K, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, I probably would put that there. I'll be honest, guys, the Burger Time Legends Ultimate Mini, I'm probably going to sell. I'm probably going to go on the market soon. Just because I don't have space for it downstairs in the new arcade nor in the loft. And the MVSX, I'm going to be torn on this one. I think what I would do is, to be honest with you, I might have to sacrifice an Arcade1Up to keep the MVSX because I do like the MVSX. But the problem with the MVSX is all the games that are on there, even with the Hilo hack, they're all the same games I have on all the other arcade multicades, right? Like it's all about redundancy. And you have to, when you have a bunch of multicades and you're playing the same games the same ways, sometimes you're like, okay, I really don't need this many. I need to, I need to tone it down. And you know what I mean? It's not like they're dedicated machines that are unique. So yeah, we demand background variety. Now I'm actually considering going black or at least having that accent wall black and the other walls here a different color, maybe a blue or something. But I'm thinking black or blue in the background. I'm not thinking gray because I'm putting gray in other parts of the house, and I don't want to have gray everywhere. Move Labyrinth up there. No, I am not bringing the pinball machines upstairs. They're too big. They're too heavy. My stairs have a big turn to them. I'm not bringing any of the real pinball machines upstairs. Trust me, I love it. I totally get that, and you probably have your favorite multicades so the others don't get played. Yeah, so for instance, most of the time when it comes to multicades, I play on the At Games Legends Ultimate 1.1 right there. That's probably the multicade that gets the most play. This thing really doesn't get played much, the 1.0. And, the MVSX, I haven't really played it in a very long time. That Tetris thing hasn't been played in a long time. So, yep. Gray is great for LED lighting. 18% gray. There you go. Yeah, I have a lot of T-roll content that I want to do. T-roll will be making a return, so don't worry about that. We got big plans for that. All right, let's pivot over because this is going to be another quick one. Let's talk a little bit about New Wave Toys if you guys got a minute. How many of you guys are excited about Friday? If I were you guys, I would be excited about Friday. I know I'm excited about Friday. I cannot wait to see what Glenn's Retro Show and New Wave Toys Shiloh have cooking. Is this it? Will there be more to it? Or is this it? Right? Now, they haven't released any other teasers since last week. But the week is still early. So there's a good chance we might see some more teasers by the end of the week. Now, if this thing actually becomes another control deck, I hope it's not another control deck. If they end up announcing something, and like many of us in this gaming community have speculated, that it's a Golden Tee control panel or it could be an Akari Warriors control panel. Who knows, right? If it's just a control panel that you plug into like a television or a monitor to play an arcade game or various games, if that's it, I really hope during Glenn's show on Friday, because keep in mind, guys, we're gonna get the big reveal. We're gonna get the big reveal on Friday. I really hope they give us the story. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the story. Like, because they were teasing us hardcore all year. I mean, ever since even before the Cleveland Gaming Classic last year, they were like really hinting that something big is coming. And Shiloh himself dropped teasers and Glenn dropped teasers. And they did that announcement at Cleveland. And a lot of us speculated that they were making a full size arcade machine. Now, I'm fully aware that in the course of product development, there's always something called plans change, and plans may have to change due to cost. Plans may have to change due to licensing. Plans may have to choose due to production issues. If this was supposed to be a full sized arcade machine, and let's say they changed their minds and said, "Look, we're just going to do a control panel," I would love to hear the story why. I'm not going to crap on them for it. I just want to know why. Like, was it the licensor? Was it just it cost too much money to build? We couldn't get it. We couldn't release it in the to make it priced the way people wanted it to be priced. That I think that's fair. I think they can tell that story. If this ends up like why didn't we get the full size arcade? If this is just a control panel, right? But we'll see. We'll see. What do you guys think it is? Has there been any other speculation? The top two I've heard is either an Akari Warriors control panel with the game licensed and included with Glenn's Akari Warrior joysticks in it. Because remember, when Glenn did his Akari Warrior joysticks that you could buy for mods and stuff, the only thing that was licensed was the artwork. The games weren't included. So you had to plug it into a device, a Raspberry Pi, a PC, Steam, what have you, and play and buy the games or play the games via nefarious ways, right? Now in this case, I'm assuming Shiloh would have licensed games. So that's the one theory, but that's actually the number two theory. The number one theory, of course, is that it is a Golden Tee control panel. But what Golden Tee games? I actually saw and I'm gonna give someone a compliment here, which is, I've always been pretty fair, but there's a couple of guys out there who they like to make fun of me and well, not really me as much, but other people. But my name gets thrown in there sometimes. But I'm like, if you're nice to me, I'll be fair to you. And you guys know Kev Gret? Kev Gret, he actually put out, I just caught a video today. It showed up in my feed where he dove deeper into the theory that this is an arcade. I'm sorry, that this is a Golden Tee control panel. And he actually talked about it, the possibility about this being instead of the Golden Tee games that Arcade1Up gave us, that these would be the Golden Tee 4 games. And he actually provided some sound theory, thought, and reasons why. So I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I thought that was a very well produced video by Kev Gret with some good theories and explanations as to why it could be what he thinks it is. Can I tell you what I think it is? In my opinion, I think if it is a Golden Tee control panel, just my opinion, and I hope I'm wrong, I think it would be the same games that we saw already from Arcade1Up. It would be Golden Tee 97, 98, 99, 2K, whatever. Just my thoughts, just my opinion. But if this turns out, but if I'm wrong and they go Golden Tee 4, Golden Tee 4 complete, which are the better games, yeah, I would be totally for that. I'd be a little bit more excited about it. Golden Tee Go with Golden Tee 4. There you go. All right, let's do us a favor here. Let's start getting your guys' feedback now that I gave you enough time to type it in. Jason says, "What if they make full-size arcade accurate control panels? Where are you going to store all those? You're going to swap these out constantly to connect to your TV?" It's interesting. What if this is a one and done product versus a whole new product line? We'll have to see what they announce come Friday. What if they release an arcade cabinet that had swappable control panels and you just swap in whatever game is built into that control panel? Would that have been cool? But then again, you're still swapping in multiple control panels, but the control panels, knowing Glenn and Shiloh, would be accurate, like really arcade accurate versus some multicades where it's a struggle to play every game possible because you're just trying to make do with the controls you have. Kev Gret and I will be at a gaming convention. Kev is a good dude and a friend of mine off YouTube. He needs to be nicer to people. There you go. I'm just kidding. All right. Kev Gret's on the right track. Compliments. It's a footcade control deck. It's the right angle. It is the perfect angle for streamers to put it like your feet on it while you're sitting here at these desks. It will take some pressure off the back. I like it. JJ says he built a control deck like Akari Warriors. If he didn't have the Legends Ultimate Mini, it would have been near impossible. A control deck that you would plug your Replicate into use full size controls. That's interesting. What if this is a control panel that you can connect via USB to all your Replicades, and those Replicades are then plugged into the TV, and then you know how you could do New Wave Toys play them on your TV? Who knows, right? That seems like an awful lot of plugging and playing, though. An awful lot of plugging and playing. Yep, Golden Tee doesn't seem like a New Wave Toys title. So, Goofy, you're thinking Akari Warriors versus New Wave Toys. There you go. And keep in mind, the control panel theory could be completely wrong. This could be just an image they put out there just to generate hype, and it's something completely different. And they're like, fooled you. So, yeah. Did you get your tank stick yet? So I pre-ordered the tank stick, but then I ended up canceling my pre-order. But I'm honestly thinking about ordering it again. But we'll see. We'll see, Retro Randy. Because now that it's shown up and I've seen a couple reviews for it, it looks pretty cool. But there's another multicade which I want to show you at the end of the show, which would make a tank stick not a viable option for me. Golden Shower 3D. Yeah, I think it would be the same games. I would be shocked if they did something a little more modern. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. I hope I'm wrong. A Silver Strike bowling would be cool. Paul says no. He wants to make his own control panel. We don't need more. It looks like an old school desk from the 1980s. Yeah, some people were trolling New Wave Toys and put legs on this thing like it looked like a school desk. I mean, and posting it in their Facebook group. It was pretty funny. All right, let's see here. Scott James has a good theory. It's the GRS control panel for PCs and Pis and Viper boards. But what does that have to do with New Wave Toys? New Wave Toys isn't going to really dive into that kind of stuff. They do licensed recreations. So this is going to be a licensed whatever it is and have only play 1, 2, 3 games or whatever. You know, they're not going to do that stuff. That would be like Arcade1Up saying, "Hey guys, we created a control panel for you to go play on a Raspberry Pi." That's not Arcade. That's not who Arcade1Up is. They make licensed arcade recreations to play licensed games. They're not going to dip into the whole naughty stuff that like AtGames did, right? So this is interesting. So I actually had a theory, and I was talking about it with some of my friends here on YouTube. So American Gear Company just announced a new Multicade, which we'll cover a little bit more in a future episode of Multicade Mondays. But have you guys seen it out there? Let me know in the live chat. It's an expensive Multicade, but it's kind of like, you know, it's like a Rec Room Masters type arcade. You know, it's a DIY kit, and you can load it up with, you know, whatever, you know, throw a PC or a Pi in there or whatever you want to do. But Glenn's controls are in those machines. So when Glenn announced that GRS had a partnership with American Gear Company, like those arcade machines, when you buy them, they come with the control panel with the joysticks, the buttons, the trackball, and the spinners all included. And the spinners for sure are Glenn's spinners, his optical spinners, but I don't know for sure if the trackball is his or not. I'd have to go look again. So I'll do a little more research on that. I'll show you guys a quick picture of it since somebody asked so politely in the live chat. Let's find this American Gear arcade. So American Gear Company. All right, here we go. So if you're on Facebook at all, you've been receiving all the little Facebook ads for these things. So I think they're about $2,000. Hold on, I'm just waiting for my computer to catch up. This might be it. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. Is this it? This might be it. I don't know if this is it or not. This might be it, but this is the kind of stuff they make, right? They make these big ass arcade machines. They could have upwards of a 32-inch screen, four-player control panels are possible. They also have, let's see here, shop, arcade. Let's go to arcade. Let's take a peek here. I'm trying to see if I can see the one that they've been doing all the Facebook ads on. Is it? It's not the brown one, is it? Let's pull up the custom arcade machine. Oh, because I'm also thinking of the Coleco ones too. Yeah, the Coleco ones are white. But there you go. Like, here you go. So, I mean, they're expensive. It's it's a DIY multicade kit. I mean, that price is pretty much what you'll get from Rec Room Masters and other places for this stuff. I mean, including all the controls, right? Having the controls already put in. So it's interesting. I'll have to do a little bit more research into what American Gear does. I don't know that much about them. So we'll have to see what they're all about. So yeah. Put Glenn stuff in a full size new wave and we all win. Nothing less. There you go. Dubs, do you still have the Arcade1Up NFL Blitz hat? Yes, I do. It's somewhere in my bedroom closet. So yeah. Calvin says he'd get the AtGames 4K pinball first. There you go. All right, so let's get this off of here. Let's try and open up my show stuff. All right, so are you guys excited for Friday? Let me know in the live chat. Me personally, I'm excited because we have been waiting forever to find out what this thing is, and I'm ready for the Band-Aid to be ripped off and the reveal to happen. Hopefully, it's something really, really cool. I think a lot of us, myself included, are really hoping to see some sort of full arcade machine. But if it really is just going to be a control panel, I hope Glenn and Shiloh can dive into the story and the reasons why. That way it makes sense, right? Like all this hype. They're coming out with arcade machines, and then all it is a control panel, right? It'd be nice to hear how and why the story or the product changed. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm interested to see what it's going to be. How many of you pre-ordered a Unico Nova Blast? This will probably be a little bit more popular with my live chat compared to the Polycade. Bill's Retro Gaming Show says keep your expectations in check. There you go, Bill. Thanks so much. So the Unico Nova Blast. So this is interesting. So I got a little bit of information I can share with you. These again are seeing delays and more delays. So just like the Polycade, last I checked, I spoke with Jay over there at Unico last week. He sent me some emails, letting me know the status of their products. Looks like these things aren't actually going to be shipping until July to folks. So that kind of stinks in my opinion because I think a lot of people were hoping to receive these in May and then it got pushed to June. Now it's going to be July. Jay had mentioned that they're going to have a couple review units that's going around. They're the traveling review units and traveling review units. I'm sure you guys know what that means, right? It means they'll send it to like a content creator. He or she will have it for a few days, have some time to film something, and then they have to ship it off to the next person. Does that make sense? So due to the cost and all that of this product, it doesn't look like this is one that they're going to be given freebies to. So I know how some people get a little antsy in our community. They feel like if people get free stuff, they can't be honest. When I've gotten a lot of free stuff over the years, I've tried to be as honest as I possibly can be. So I think I'm pegged. Jay mentioned I'll be on the list of people to get a unit to check out. And I also pre-ordered one too. That those traveling review units are going to be traveling in June with the actual cabinet shipping to customers in July. So just a heads up there. So it's going to be a couple more months yet for that. Again, it's the year of the multicade, but not until June or July. until this stuff arrives. Sir Sega ordered a Unico. Kyle K, he loves these. Bill says he blames 19K Fox. That Unico looks like IKEA made it. Trev has a Sega Astro City in his home. He shows pictures of it to us all the time on my Discord channel. Nice time to plug for one of the moderators to share a link to join my Discord. And he's always showing us all the different games he's running off of his Sega Astro City. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. Would be nice if it was a control deck Golden Tee for full size Golden Tee. Oh, you're talking about the New Wave Toys things. What are you going to put in your Nova Blast? I think the question for a lot of people about this thing is, what are you not going to put into your Unico Nova Blast? It does a lot. I mean, it does a lot of stuff, right? So there's a lot of stuff that it should be compatible with, but we'll have to test it and see. I mean, I have plenty of stuff with JAMA connectors I can connect to this thing. So we could try some of those JAMA boards and see how they fare out. But also, I also want to test and see how this thing is going to work for people who are connecting PCs and like wanting just to do a Batacera build and things like that. No Raspberry Pis though, guys. I just can't stand Raspberry Pis right now. Like I am so. I don't know about you guys. I'm just so over the Raspberry Pi thing. I did Raspberry Pis for years. Like for me, it's like PC mods are the way to go, and you can get some cheap PCs that are this big that'll run a shit ton of your retro games cheaper than a Raspberry Pi, right? Raspberry Pis are too expensive nowadays. So I'm just like over the Raspberry Pis. Yeah, you could put a Mister K, you could put a Mister in there. You could do the analog pocket. I have it, guys. I have an analog pocket I never made a video on. People are like, PDubs, when are you going to review the analog pocket? I'm like, I don't know. It's in a drawer. I can plug my analog pocket in there, plug a PC in there. I have a Mister that I've never made content on. There's a lot of cool content I could make. And keep in mind, I did pre-order one as well. So although I'll be one of the many people who will get the traveling units for review, I'll still eventually get the one that I paid for out of my own pocket, just like the Polycade paid for out of my own pocket that I'll make content on for you guys to check out. There you go. James hates everything. I love mine with the edit cores. James, we should do a show talking about the pocket. If you guys would like that, let me know in the live chat. James is an up and comer. He says he hates everything, but he secretly loves everything. All right. What else are we missing for tonight? What else are we missing? We got a couple more here. I thought I saw. All right. I don't know if I should show this or not because then I think no, they're expensive. I don't think anyone will buy them to review them. How many of you guys? So, in our quest for multicades, we have all kinds of multicades, stand up multicades, and things like that. How many of you like to play sitting down? Let me know in the live chat. Do you guys like to play sitting down? Like, what if you could sit down at a desk and you had a control panel in front of you and you have your joysticks and buttons and you're able to play, um, you know, your arcade games, right? Well, there's an interesting solution out there, and I may or may not have one of these on the way, but I want to cover it on the channel. And guys, we're going to talk about the Qanba, God, I can't even say this. How do you say this? Qanba 2009 arcade system. And hold on, I just hit the wrong button on the wrong screen. Up, 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 up. There we go. I think I fixed it. All right, so Qanba 2009. So you might say, why would you spend $700 on a desk that when you can, like for now, I have a desk and you could literally go to Walmart, buy a $50 desk. You could buy a $50 AtGames Legends Ultimate Mini control panel. You could buy a $20 monitor. You could buy a PC, a mouse pad, a keyboard. So technically, you could build this thing yourself for probably $200 or less. Let's keep that in mind, guys. You could probably do this yourself, but keep in mind that's you slapping something together, right? What's interesting about these things are the the fact that the control panel, everything is built in. So let's see if we can go. You know what? Let's see if we can go full screen here for you guys. Here, let me get this full screen. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this because I've had people messaging me like crazy saying, PDubs, you got to check out the Qanba. I can't even pronounce it. Qanba 2009 arcade. And let's find out what, let's see if I can find their official video. There are a lot of people out there who have done views on this. All right, here we go. All right, guys, tell me your honest opinions when you see this shit. I want to know. I want to know what love is. Right. It's a desk, but it's a desk that has D input, X input. It's got all the inputs built in. Think of like a Nintendo, I'm sorry, an 8-bit-do arcade stick where you can connect. This thing will run all your consoles, your PCs, so your Steam Deck, like whatever you want to plug into this thing, and you flip the controls, like juggling between D input and X input and stuff, and you'll be able to play your arcade games. And apparently the joysticks and buttons are good from what I've seen in some people's product reviews, right? Now they just call it a 2009. I don't know why they call it a 2009 versus because we're in 2024. It's kind of misleading. Like, did this product come out in 2009? But so this particular owner, he's got his own PC on the bottom here. So he's running a PC in this shot. And then in another shot later in the video, they show you right here, this guy's got his Steam Deck plugged in so he could play all his Steam games, right? And you have this big area here where you could, put your keyboard and stuff. You get to bring your own monitor. You buy whatever monitor you want to buy. Most people said they stick about a 27 to 32-inch screen on here, but no bigger than a 32 because you're sitting right in front of it. You don't want to burn your eyeballs out. And they also have options. Check this out, where they have 2 players. Now, what's funny too is I saw on video, there's a couple product reviews out there for this thing where the 2 players were sitting side by side, and these are big dudes, like big guys like me, 250-pound guys, and they actually looked like they had enough room. So the desk isn't small, right? So it's an interesting little multicade product. And, I had so many requests from my viewers to check this thing out. I have one on the way. So look forward to covering this on the channel for you guys as well. It's all about options, right, baby? It's all about options. So, the carpal tunnel edition. But hey, man, if I have to sacrifice for you guys, then that's what we've been doing this whole time, right? There's also a claw machine I might pick up and do a review on. So, like a new claw machine you could go buy, like a real one. But I'm really on the fence. Like, I don't know if you guys would even be interested in that. Like, do you guys want to buy a claw machine? Let me know. You guys need a claw machine in your arcade or game rooms? Let me know. Like a newer one that has all the pretty lights on it. You guys got to let me know in the live chat. All right. So, we'll find out. There's lots of videos out there, Paul. Oh, you would love a claw machine. Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll get a claw machine. Odds are I'd get that claw machine before any of these multicades show up. There you go. All right. When it comes to Arcade1Up, guys, really, when it comes to multicades, the only thing worth noting is that, the Golden Tee Deluxes, which do have a various amount of games on them. So you could consider it a multicade. Golden Tee Deluxes are arriving. James Hates Everything did a product review on his, and he already judo chopped and smashed the screen on his. Isn't that right, James? You can confess it in the live chat. Sorry, J-Cat. Didn't mean to crush ice in the mic. And then also, you got that X-Men 97, I guess, has hit the shores. So people are going to get their X-Men 97s. I think there's a couple of guys on YouTube who posted some videos or pictures of it. But really, that Marvel versus Capcom 2 is just not something I'm interested in personally. Man, sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to do that so loud, but, my throat's dry. Been talking for an hour, buddy. Been talking for an hour. I want a claw machine filled with mini booze bottles. Um, I think Arcade1Up, we're gonna see some seasonal items coming out. I heard now that they have spectate mode working. Mike of all trades is going to do a couple Mortal Kombat tournaments. So if you guys are interested and still have your Arcade1Up Mortal Kombats, you can download the new firmware and you can go, go join Moat's channel, Back Alley 711, and do the Mortal Kombat tournaments and stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, I don't have any Arcade1Up Mortal Kombats anymore, so I can't participate. But if I did participate, you guys remember Dub Zero, right? I was pretty high on the leaderboards. I can play MK1. That's my fighting game right there. I'm pretty good at MK1. So yeah, I mean I've taken a few MK players. Uh but still guys, I don't think I'll get another Arcade1Up Mortal Kombat. I bought that thing from them 4 times. I just can't do it. I just can't buy any more from them. Let's see here. I know he gets crap from us. Are you guys excited about that? Are you guys going to participate in the Mortal Kombat tournaments or at least watch them? Let me know in the live chat. Should at least watch them, support the community. Those guys, it takes a lot of work to put on those streams, right? All right. Legends Ultimate. So I finally set up over the weekend. I set up, yeah, I had the original. Hey, Rafcon, I had the original one they sold at Walmart, the original Generation 1 Mortal Kombat. And you guys remember about a year into it, they released the Costco version of Mortal Kombat. And the Costco version, I think, had the BOE monitor, had different connectors, different controls. Like, it was, the Costco one was vastly improved compared to the Generation 1. And that was the best version of Mortal Kombat. Then after that, they had the Midway Legacy, which was way too short, and it was in that Midway shape, but it looked terrible. So I had that one too. And then I got the Mortal Kombat 1 that they released that was missing Daniel Pesina on the side. And I did like that one a lot, especially with the I did the mod. There's a video on my channel where I added Daniel Pesina artwork on it and it looked really, really good. But, with their laggy online play, lack of firmware updates, lack of spectate mode, like after playing, I think I played a couple hundred matches and I was like 100 wins, 100 losses. Like, I'm a decent player. Like, there's a lot of people on there who got like 2 wins, 10,000 losses, right? Like, I did a couple hundred matches. I was like 50-50, 500. So I'm a competitive player. Like, you're not going to beat me easily. Like, we're going to duke it out. I'm not going to win every game. I'm not as good as those guys, but I can put up a fight basically because I know how to play the games. But anyway, um, I got bored of it, so eventually I sold it. Like I just nobody was on it whenever I was on it. Nobody was playing the games, so it was time to let it go. So yeah, yeah. I have the Legacy. Yeah, not the Legacy. It was the Mortal Kombat with the Mortal Kombat 1 that they released that was missing Daniel Pesina. That's when I could finally play online against people. Tapper's a fun game. I love Tapper. Who doesn't like Tapper? Tapper's a great game. He knows special moves. I know everybody's special moves and fatalities in Mortal Kombat 1. But not for every other game. But yeah, Sub-Zero is usually my guy in all the other games. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see here. So that's what's going on with Arcade1Up. AtGames, Legends Ultimate 4K. AtGames put out this whole little agenda of what games they got coming out for their pinball machine. We had a fun discussion about this on a stream I did with Michael B, as well as on Super Game Room Dudes. Like, should they just stop releasing Zen Studios games until all these issues are fixed, or should they keep moving forward? It's very interesting hearing everyone's opinions out there, the viewers as well as our own. But they're gonna keep coming, guys. They're gonna keep pumping these games out, even with the known issues. So all I know is if they don't get this thing fixed, especially because now they're looping in Epic and they're looping in Google, and supposedly they're involved now. But if they can't get this fixed to where it's become a non-issue, 100%, what do you think they should do? Excuse me. What do you think they should do for owners? What should they do? You guys got to let me know in the live chat. What seems fair? Does an apology sort it all out for you? Or do you think that they're going to have to do something more for everybody, especially if by the end, let's say it's by the end of the year and the machine has been out for a year? Because these things were shipping in December. Yeah, they were shipping to influencers, but that sounds like a product release to me. So if by December this problem is not resolved, it's been a year and they've pretty much have confirmed that there's no way they can get these things to sync up the right way. And these games will always have minimal lag. Now, keep in mind, I just played Attack from Mars, and it was much, much better than some of the other games, in my opinion. Again, it's everyone has different opinions, but but I had to turn ball trails off and the what are those? The special effects, right? Like I should be able, the way these games are advertised, I should be able to have all features turned on and the games run smoothly. I shouldn't have to tell my viewers, "Hey guys, just turn special features off and it runs, it's playable." You know what I mean? Like that's not good enough in my opinion. These things need to be running efficiently even with all features turned on. A lot of people will tell you they're like Star Trek has no lag. Oh, really? Is it because you have all the special features turned off? They're like, "Yeah, I have them all turned off." I was like, "Don't you want the special features to work? Like, come on now." So, in my opinion, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be pop-up scores, like, and keep in mind, a lot of people love having that stuff off. I'm okay with leaving that stuff off when it comes to like playing the Bally Williams games, like Attack from Mars. Like, do I really need that stuff? No, because but the ones that are true video game pinball, Zen originals like Star Trek, Peanut Snoopy, like those games, I like having the special animations and the pop-ups on. You know what I mean? But the games don't run efficiently that way. So in my opinion, I'm going to sit back and yeah, I'll give updates as I can throughout the year. But come December, if this product's been out for a year and they have not figured out how to make sure every single game, Zen game, runs fully, runs great with all features working on each table, they're going to be in some trouble. They're going to be in some trouble because if you think about it, did they just start building this machine in December of last year? No, think about it. They built this machine way before that. They had prototypes and stuff. So if you think about it, they've probably already been developing this machine for a year and we're still not there. And now we are, we're about 6 months into the public release and there's still issues with the Zen games. Keep in mind, everything else on the machine works pretty good in the way it should, which is a positive. But we talked about this on Michael B show. If I buy an air fryer because the box showed me an air fryer, it showed me Adam's Family air fryer, Adam's Family artwork, Adam's Family pinball, and I go and I plug my air fryer in and it bakes wonderfully and it broils wonderfully. But the minute I go to air fry, which is the reason I bought the thing, it doesn't air fry the right way, or it just simply doesn't work, or if the air fryer lags. Don't you think that that's not a good thing? I don't think we as a community, especially those of us who have spent anywhere from 1,000 to $1,500, some people who also bought the surround sound kits over 1,500, pushing $2,000 on this machine, should settle for anything less than these Zen Studios games running perfectly. Because I told you guys when this product originally got announced, even though I no longer have any association with that games, in my opinion, this machine is for people who don't want to learn VPX. They don't want to learn future pinball. They don't want to have to buy a $2,000 PC. I'm just saying, like a 4K PC. They don't want to have to spend all that extra money to connect a PC and figure out how do I map my controls? How do I get all this to work? How do I do all this? They don't want to deal with all that. They just want to download a Zen Studios game to the machine and it plays the game. And it should play it optimum. It should be perfect. It should be great. As good as the Taito games, as good as the Dr. Seuss games, all the Magic Pixel games, right? That's who this machine is for. And I feel really bad for those customers, especially those customers who bought this thing who really aren't in our community. Maybe they're not in our community frequently, and they turn around and guess what? They go to play these games, and some of them enjoy it, some of them don't. They hate the lag, and they're like, "What's going on here?" You know what I mean? So, come December, if this problem's not fixed, AtGames needs to do something big time for their community. I mean, giving them a year is pretty goddamn generous considering this product's probably already been in the development stage for over a year already, right? But it's been publicly released since December, since they put a bunch of them on an airplane and flew them out to the YouTubers who work for them right now saying, guys, tell everyone it's awesome. And they said, hey guys, it's awesome. And then now what stinks too, but I will say this because I have been a little hard on John Wagner, but him and I talked behind the scenes, and John let me know that some of these games that he filmed footage for, they were on a different build than the build that actually got released. And as someone who actually used to do beta testing and stuff like that with AtGames where they would send me stuff, I know that that's a true story. So I know that John, that happens, that like you test something like, oh my God, this is the light gun stuff. Boo, boo, boo. It works great. But then they release a public build and it's all messed up, right? The beta build worked, but not the one that was released publicly. I've been there. So I get John Wagner. So we shouldn't hold John Wagner's feet to the fire over that. But, you know, like, come on, guys. Like, it needs to get fixed because that is the main reason to buy these machines is to, eventually they're going to have what 100 Zen Studios games on here. And if you think about it, if you have a library of games of now you're talking 250, 300 virtual pinball games, and a third of them do not play, perform, and run properly, a third of those games. What a nightmare. What a nightmare of a product release. So hopefully that'll all get sorted out in due time. The fact that they had to bring in Google, I mean, what happens if Google says we don't care? Or what happens if Epic says we don't know? What if they can't figure it out? What happens then? We're just supposed to say, okay, keep releasing the games? Like, what do you do? I would feel kind of bad for AtGames. I would because they are going to get shit on so bad if this problem doesn't get fixed. Even worse than they are today. Because keep in mind the machine works great, looks great, plays great, except when you go to play a Zen Studios pinball game. So there. Yeah, they don't have this stuff. They don't have this stuff publicly. You have to dig for this stuff nowadays. So there you go. That's pretty much Multicade Mondays tonight, guys. And so next week we got a couple other new multicades hitting the market. We'll try and do a little bit more deep dive into what these are. Are they worth it? We got a couple more mods. Now that I'm back, because I haven't really made YouTube videos in the last 2 weeks. I've only done like a live stream or two. I'm going to try and get a couple YouTube videos out this week. Those short produced videos. I got a couple product reviews and tutorials I got to get done. And all that kinds of stuff. So it should be a fun week. Next week, I won't be doing any YouTube. I'll be traveling for work. So you guys probably won't catch me at all next week. Do me a favor, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up on the way out. That thumbs up is huge. Hopefully, I didn't put you to sleep. And also, subscribe if you're new. All that jazz. We'll see you guys next week. Hey, guys, you know what today is? I just remembered. I just remembered. It's Monday. What do we always do on Mondays before we go to bed and our wives put their freezing ass toes on our backs and our legs, on our shins? They try to touch us with their freezing ass cold feet in bed, even when it's 95 degrees in the goddamn desert in Arizona. Their feet are still freaking cold as ice blocks. What do we do before we suffer through all that misery, torment, and pain? We play our multicades. I'll talk to you guys next week.